started in a minute. Okay. If I look at my phone during this, it's because there might be a question coming through, and it's hard to see here. I'm not checking my social media or something. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Oh, hey there. Yeah, sorry for being a couple of minutes late, covering for Joe tonight, and it will include some sound. You can see the gong behind me, and I have some singing bowls, so we'll do some practice, and then towards the end, have a little bit of a sound bath. So thanks for joining us. Okay, yeah, and feel free to, if you need anything else to get comfortable, blink, you know the deal, yeah. Okay, so let's sit in our seat, take a deep breath in, nice sigh, exhalation. Another deep inhalation in. Nice relaxing sigh on the exhale. I'll do one more of those. All right, welcome everyone. Let's give rise to a sense of joy and appreciation that we're all here. We made it here tonight. We have this space to practice. We have all these great teachings that we could go over. We'll probably do a little bit of recap from last week, see if anyone has any questions or comments, and then we'll have a nice sound bath at the end too. So give rise to joy and appreciation. So in this style of meditation, we generally just try to have the spine straight. Think of like a stack of coins, the head over the spine. Settle into your meditation pose. It's okay if you have an itch and need to scratch it, or have a cramp, need to stretch out your legs or change the cross of your legs. But in general, when we're sitting, we try to stay as still as possible, because that helps to relax and calm the mind and train the body to be so as well. We say the body like a mountain. And then the next instruction that we follow is the speech. And here the speech also, it refers to the breath, and we just let it do what it's going to naturally do. We don't try to control it. If you're sitting and you feel like taking a deep breath in and an exhalation, go with that. But the key point is to not control it, and as we're sitting, being still, eventually what tends to happen is the breath can soften, and we might even eventually shortly have gaps in between our breaths. Part of the idea is to just let it do what it's going to do and not to focus on it too closely. The speech is like the ocean without waves. So body like a mountain, speech like the ocean without waves. And the next, third part of it is mind open like the sky. And a common teaching for that is like, if you think of thoughts as like holding on to something, like grasping at whatever we're thinking about, seeing, which can happen right from when we wake up to right when we go to sleep. So here it's okay if we have thoughts, but they're like a cloud passing in the sky. We can acknowledge them, but let them float by. And we just let go of them and drop them. Like, right now I'm holding this phone, dropping it like a thought, just letting it be. Body like a mountain. Speech like the ocean without waves. Mind open like the sky. So one of the reasons why I resonate closely with this type of practice and Tibetan Buddhism in general is the teachings say that we all have the same inherent underlying enlightened essence or nature, Buddha nature. Like there's no difference between any of our minds and like the mind of the Buddha or great master. It's just maybe they have realized it. That's the difference.
They have realized what?
Their enlightened nature. Yeah. And are able to sustain that. Yeah.
So last week we were practicing with mantra.
Mm-hmm.
Om.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a thought to release other thoughts? Or eventually do we release that thought to be more enlightened? I'm here doing the mantra
Mm-hmm.
and grasping that thought.
Mm-hmm.
At what point do I let go of that thought?
Mm-hmm. Good question. Yeah. And that's really good because that's where we were going to go, or where I was planning on going.
Sure.
So, for anyone who wasn't here last week, Jim's asking a question about a mantra we were reciting, and it was Om Ah Hum, which that's Om O-M, Ah is A-H, and Hum is, sometimes it's spelled H-U-M, sometimes it's spelled H-U-N-G, Hum. And Jim asked about, so the actual practice was on the inhalation, thinking Om, and then a slight pause in the breath or hold, and at that point, Ah, and then on the exhalation, Hum, and doing that over and over and over. And Om represents enlightened body, Ah is enlightened speech, and Hum is enlightened mind. And yes, like practicing it more and more can actually encourage or lead to non-thought, even when you're doing it. And I think it might just be a matter of doing it over and over and accumulating the hours and the practice, so it becomes less about like having to even think about it. Like last week, Joe told a story of a great Tibetan teacher, Garshan Rinpoche, who's like just turned 90 years old, and it was kind of funny, but also like serious, where he said that his heartbeat had turned into hum because he had practiced so much over the years. So when you listen to it with the stethoscope, it actually sounds like hum, and when you feel the pose, it like feels like that. It's really interesting. But that's just an example of how you can integrate with it. So it's not something. It becomes like effortless in a way. Like I would think you probably have aspects of flying that are like that, and maybe in the beginning, or yeah. But I can relate because I remember first doing that practice, and it was kind of like there. I remember feeling like a tenseness to it, almost like I was like even controlling my breath a little bit, like where it was like like it wasn't smooth as much. And in my practice, I do a lot of mantra recitation, different ones, different practices, and um, for some of them, like you could just plan to do it every day for the rest of your life, but then for other ones, uh, there might be an instruction to say it like 1,000,000 times or 1.2 million times or 100,000 times or something like that. And it's really interesting because it's like going on a journey. In the beginning, it might feel like, you're really in it and there's a little tension to it. And then that might go away and it's very light and like there's a slight like blissfulness to it as well. Um, and then you might not ever want it to end. Like, I'm going to keep on going after 1.2 million. But then you might come around to, to how it was in the beginning a little bit more. So it's really interesting. And I think that might also depend on what's going on, like in one's life, all these different factors. And but there is an aspect of kind of like purification. And they say, body, speech, and mind, Om Aham. So, yeah, I do think that might be part of it as well, where it's kind of like connecting to the power of it, if you believe in that,
And it does help me release the other thoughts going on because I have to concentrate on the mantra.
Mm-hmm.
I think eventually I need to let go of the mantra or at least embody it in some fashion.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah, I was practicing a little bit throughout the week. I'm just doing that because it had been a little while since I had done that, and yeah, it definitely. It was early in the morning each time, and it definitely helped with like having the mind be clear for me, and I think there's maybe some power in like doing it as a group too last week to get that going as well. Yeah, good question. So yeah, let's try that a little bit. So Om Aham, and with Om, so it's Om Aham, body, speech, and mind, and it's interesting because the Om is here. You would think like that would be mind, but in the Tibetan tradition, the mind is here. I mean, the body's here, and then speech is here, and Hum is the mind here. So kind of like the heart and the mind are flipped, which is kind of cool, actually. Heart-based mind. And you can also, if it's helpful, you like colors. I believe it's white here for the Om, red at the throat for the Ah, and blue for the Hum body. So we'll do it as we did last week, and we could all do this at our own pace, and just on the inhalation, think of Ah, and then whatever feels good for your respiratory rate. After the inhalation, hold the breath and think. It's Om, and then hold the breath and think Ah, and then on the exhalation, Hum. So we'll do that for a couple minutes now. So inhale Ah, or Om, sorry. Lack of sleep. Inhale Om. Hold Ah. Exhale Hum. You can do that at your own pace. right, really good. Saw someone had a question, and someone said it looks like someone's behind me, which is funny because over the years I've played lots of music during in different settings, and sometimes I'll have the sense that someone's behind me, and I'll almost get like the feeling that someone's like blowing on my neck, like it's like really interesting. And then someone asked if there's any recommendations for how to deal with drowsiness during meditation. So one thing that can be helpful if you're feeling tired is to have the eyes open and direct the gaze upward, and that can help lift the energy. And then conversely, if you're feeling like really amped up and you'd like to turn the notch down a little bit, you can direct the gaze down towards the ground or floor. But yeah, otherwise, sometimes, I mean, we're out here in Colorado, and it's really dry. Sometimes even just stopping and having a glass of water and getting up for a little bit to try to break the drowsiness energy can help me. And then the other thing, which you might not want to do in the evening, is it actually can be quite common to have a caffeinated beverage like tea. In some groups is commonly drank before, even during meditation sessions, like green teas, black teas, even coffee. And I do know some meditators who even do that like at night, and it doesn't affect their sleep. They're still able to go to sleep and sleep well. But I thought of another thing, kind of related to Jim's question about doing mantra recitation and like feeling like it's a thought that you're actively doing, and and everyone here practices yoga, which is awesome. But if I ever feel like that, like I'm a little more tense or like holding on to things, and having to have this like almost like forceful energy, or it's not as effortless, I usually will do some yoga, whether it's I have some like gentle restorative poses that can be very helpful for me, but sometimes like I could just tell like something more active will be helpful for me in the moment. So, and really like the purpose of yoga is to help support practice like this too. So it's can be a perfect thing to do. So it might be an interesting thing to do, like if you're practicing and feeling like it's not as effortless, like to do even just maybe like 5, 10, 15 minutes of yoga, and then come back to it and see how the body and mind is after that. So yeah, let's return to that. So Om on the inhalation, Ah on the pause of the breath, and Hum on the exhalation. So let's do that for a little while again. Great. Someone commented that they had sleep paralysis once and it felt like someone was blowing on their neck. Yeah. Interesting, yeah. Might be a little scary. Alright, now let's clear out the stale breath. So um, I'll go through it once and then we'll all do it together. So point out the right finger, block off right nostril, inhale through the left. Point with the left finger, block off left nostril, exhale. Inhale through the right. Right finger out. Exhale. And then inhale through both. And then on the exhale, you extend your fingers out. Okay, so let's do that another time. Right. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through both. Exhale, extend the fingers. So we'll clear the still breath again, and then on the exhale, I'm going to hit one of the singing bowls. So with that, just let the mind be open like the sky, and let that openness flow with the sound. And it's really windy out here, and it's like blowing the heavy door open right now. Yeah, I live out in Lakewood, and the wind came out of nowhere, and we have this like covered patio with a little deck, and there's a big heavy rug, and there's like a dog bed on it, and like a kid's little mini trampoline, and like toys, and a little table, and the wind just picked all of it up and like flipped it all over. It was crazy. Because it also kind of came out of nowhere, but we can still let be and rest in our openness, even if the wind blows the door open and a bunch of leaves come in. So let's clear the still breath one more time. So right on. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale through both. Exhale, extend the fingers. Alright. Any questions or thoughts before we move into the sound portion? Okay, so to the folks online, we're gonna get the room set up. It'll just take a minute or so. I might have to move a little bit depending on how the hammocks fall, but in a minute or two we will go into the singing bowls and gong portion. I'll be right back. All right. Just gonna get this. Yeah, it should be good.
No, those two over there. That should be 4.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes they're a little tight, sometimes they fall right out. Have you done the yoga hammocks before?
I've been doing it once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it'll basically folks can just lay in it like a cocoon, so you know how to get it in and out, or it's pretty simple,
Okay.
yeah. If it's helpful, you can put your mat underneath for some traction when you're getting in and out.
Okay.
Alright, cool, yeah, I don't have to move. Cool, thanks, man. Lay in there.
to me to lower any of them. They were kind of stretchy, so I think they're too high, I can lower them.
Yeah. Let's see. What do you think? Are they okay? Is that low enough to get in?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Okay, cool. Good?
So.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Just lower down into it.
Yeah, and make sure it's like, you go, so your head will be here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
Amazing.
Yeah.
If you can just, I might have thinking about.
Honest opinion. My daughter takes her nap. We have one of these at home, and she takes her nap, and then she always asks us to spin her.
Oh, she likes that.
Yeah.
I can
And yeah, you can play around if you want to, like, with extending your legs out, or you can keep your knees bent, whatever feels good.
Do you like close your hands?
Yeah, you can. You can play around crossing your hands, or
is it just presses on the
yeah.
shoulders?
All right, and as we go into the sound portion of the evening, remember the body like a mountain, even if you're swaying a little bit and you're having speech like the ocean without waves, and mind open like the sky. If you'd like to, you could continue doing the Om Ah Hum on the inhalation, breath hold, and exhalation, or you could focus on just one of them if you want to focus on the body, speech, or mind, anyone in particular. Sometimes hum for the mind is a good one to help relax, soften. But I welcome you to just relax, have the sound wash over you, and notice if your body, mind feels more spacious. Just allow that to be. deep inhalation in. Nice exhalation in. Notice if you feel spaciousness, lightness in your body, any tingling. And as the folks in the room here are still in their hammocks, we can close out the session. We typically say a dedication and merit prayer, which the purpose of that is to kind of gather up any positivity, any goodness that we've generated during the session, and to offer it to all beings in the world. But since we don't have the prayer out in front of us, everyone, let's just think, may all beings benefit from this practice. May all beings be happy and free from suffering. So let's take a few moments to think that. And thanks to the folks who participated online. We'll see you next week for the regular session with Joe. Hope you all have a great week.